What's up guys, I'm S2 and I want to talk about a YouTuber theory that I've crafted up. Today we're going to be looking at a personal favorite of mine, Brentalfloss. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Brentalfloss, he's a YouTuber who made primarily video game parodies where he would add lyrics to video game themes or write songs about game characters, and then went on to create a game studio making a game that I actually personally can attest to being a real hoot. But not to get sidetracked with the game, let's talk about what most of us know Brent for, his music. Recently this channel popped back up on my radar, and for nostalgia's sake I decided to revisit some of his old videos when I noticed something strange. Let's look back on one of Brentalfloss's most popular videos of all time, Zelda, Ocarina of Time with lyrics feat Dave Bulmer -Brentalfloss. This video has over 3 million views at this point, which is why I'm surprised that I'm actually the first person covering this. Now, let's look at this part of the video.
It blew your little socks off, I get that, but you might see my viewpoint if I could read. Why don't?
Okay guys, I'm gonna have to admit something that is going to make me look quite stupid, but bear with me because in a few minutes here, I'm gonna start looking like a certified genius. I am really bad at identifying song lyrics. When I listen to a song, it takes me so long to figure out what the singer is actually saying. Like, it takes me tons of re-listens to be able to sing along to any song, and basically what I'm trying to say is, don't bring me along to any karaoke night. Anyway, my first listen through this song, I thought he said, "You might see my viewpoint if I could read." Now obviously, that's not what the lyrics are, so if you go into the video and look at the subtitles, you can see it's actually not read, but re. So although I was wrong, it did get the gears turning in my head. Can Brentalfloss actually read? Well, let's address the previously aforementioned line. If I could read. Well, if we look at the word read, it starts with the letters R and E, so it seems to be possible that the word Dave cut Brent off really was read. Now this is quite interesting, but we need to look deeper. Now, something that I thought was interesting was the beginning. After B-Dog makes his tweet, he seemingly gets a flood of replies, text only of course as it's Twitter, but is seemingly unaware of the reception to the tweet until Dave video chats him and verbally explains the situation to him. Not only is it somewhat strange that he would have not noticed all of the notifications from his tweet, it's not like he was busy at all, but it also struck me as peculiar that Dave and Brent were video chatting. I mean, sure, video chatting is extremely normal between friends and was as available then as it is now, but think about it. Dave is from the UK and Brent is a Yank. There is a noticeable time difference between them, and the situation at hand isn't all that dire that it couldn't have been addressed within a text message, right? Well, if Brentalfloss can't read, then it would force Mr. Bulmer to verbally communicate with him, therefore rationalizing this video chat. Honestly, at this point, I would not blame you for being skeptical of my claim. It's kind of an odd point to make, and so far we haven't seen too much proof. If only there were some outright proof that Brentalfloss was not a reader in the 9 minutes and 41 seconds of this video. Oh wait, there is.
And also there's this owl who will not shut up.
Not one for reading that.
This should completely erase any doubt in any skeptic's mind that I could possibly be making this up. We have some serious weight right here now that Dave has exposed Brentalfloss's major secret. Now, if we go back and look through the video with the assumption that Brentalfloss actually in fact cannot read, lots of new details are going to jump out at us. For example, the tweet written at the beginning of the video. Now, if you were to inspect the keyboard closely, you'll see Brentalfloss is not actually typing the tweet at all, as proven by him hitting the letter H, when it is in fact not used at all at that point in the tweet. In fact, the only use of the letter H in the whole tweet is in the word the, which is followed by the number 64, which is not what he types here. We can study all of his key presses and find that he is in fact not typing the tweet at all. But the words in the tweet suspiciously appear when he says the words, so we can assume that Brent, on top of not knowing how to read, also cannot type and instead uses speech-to-text programs. Next in the video, we see this terrifying graphic of an angry mob of Zelda fans, with signs inscribed with horrifying remarks such as, "We're pissed," and "Down with Brentalfloss." Yet Brent has little reaction to the mob, and even jokes about how not frightening they are to him. This underreaction would make sense if he is not able to read the signs and does not know of their malicious intent. Dave even references during the conflict of the video a Nintendo Power article, which assumes that Brent had not read the article before, presumably because he cannot read. The words are printed big and vibrantly, yet Dave still feels the need to read the words aloud to Brentalfloss, presumably because he cannot read. In fact, I would say this theory could even explain the whole conflict of the video overall. You see, in the video, Dave and Brent are arguing over if Ocarina of Time is a good or bad game, Dave defending it and Brent bashing it. Now honestly, I don't think it's too far-fetched to say that if Brent can in fact not read, it would deeply affect his perception of the game. Ocarina of Time is a story and text-heavy game, and if you could not understand it, then making progress would be difficult and confusing, and the game's enjoyability would be greatly lessened. In the video, Brentalfloss compares two N64 games, Ocarina of Time and Super Mario 64, stating that he enjoyed Super Mario 64 much more than Ocarina of Time. This would make sense because Super Mario 64 is a text-heavy game and can be enjoyed with minimal reading ability, unlike Ocarina of Time. Let's also look at another one of Brentalfloss's videos, Nintendo Bohemian Rhapsody.
It was nice, but then I died, and I can't find the strategy guide.
Oh, what's that, Brent? You can't find the strategy guide? Well, it seems to me like you got a lot on that shelf. I'd imagine you've got the guide you're looking for. Can you not find it because you can't read the title? So now we're at the why. Why can't Brentalfloss read? Well, I have one explanation. Let's look at another one of his videos, Super Mario Land 2 with lyrics, in the section of the crane game.
That was a my eyeball! Why, God, why? What kind of madness is this? Great, I'm blind now! Wonderful!
I'm sorry for such graphic content, but it really is my best guess here at an explanation, so let's analyze this. We hear a very realistic and disturbing noise of Mario getting poked in the eye, and then some singing and whatnot, and a statement of "Great, I'm blind now." Brent does an amazing job on the acting here, so let me pose a question to you. What if Brent was not acting here? Perhaps he wanted to give the ultimate performance of his life here, and to make it sound as realistic as possible, actually poked himself in the eye, legitimately blinding himself in the process. It's possible, but I don't think it's likely since it would be difficult to play video games if you're blind, and most of his arguments about Ocarina of Time are visual flaws the game has.
This makes my eyeballs sore.
Well, at the end of the day, we may never truly know if Brentalfloss can read or not, unless he makes a public statement about it. But hopefully some of you viewing this will have taken something away from this video. As always, thanks for watching.